I need vegetables. Lots and lots of vegetables. So, it's time to get sowing so we can get growing. Hello, YouTube family. Sorry, mosquitoes. But this is one of the reasons why we're out here today. I'm going to be working on the garden, the greenhouse, and quite frankly, my yard. Golly, the flies and mosquitoes have been crazy this year. Anyways, let me fill you in. Hey Max, we see you, buddy. Here's what's going on. The last few months have been a lot. As Max, hush, I'm filming, buddy. It's been kind of crazy. And the reason it's been kind of crazy is because a lot's been happening, a lot's been going on. But I'm ready to get back into the swing of things because guess what? It's needed. I am in the process now, like I said, getting all this other stuff together. So that's what we're going to be doing. And getting myself in shape. As you can see, I'm a disabled vet. And I promise you, dude, sometimes getting up and doing anything physical is taxing enough by itself. So sometimes it's complicated. But that's more of the reason why I'm trying to do the things that I'm doing right now. You know, being a disabled vet, you know, the best thing you can do is try to strengthen yourself. And while I'm trying to strengthen myself, Max! While I'm trying to strengthen myself, I have to keep moving. I have to keep some energy. I got to do something. I got to keep my muscles built. You know, because once you start to lay down and get lethargic, that's when you get the belly, you put on the weight, you put more weight on your muscles and you know, on your bones, and then things start to deteriorate. So I'm not going to go down that route. I'm going to keep moving and keep exercising, do the best I can, and rest whenever things get a little too much. So it's getting a little bit cooler. I'm getting too far in the season for me to do things like potatoes and stuff like that. So I need to get that done, or at least get everything prepared. I especially need to get that greenhouse back up and running because that's going to be my way to have fresh vegetables during the winter. So the object now is to get things self-sufficient. So first things first, I need to get my big planter box together. Now, the planter box that I'm going to be working on right now is not like the one that I did in my front yard. The one that I'm doing in my backyard is going to be for root vegetables, things that like potatoes and carrots and garlic and, you know, onions and things of that nature, radishes. So I want to get that big box prepared because as hot as it's been this year, I think that I should be able to get a yield, if, you know, maybe not the biggest yield, but some kind of yield if I go ahead and get it started now. Also, I need to get that greenhouse up and together. Now, interesting thing about the greenhouse is I built that greenhouse in around 2018. So around 2018, and I have some pictures and video if I have it available. But in 2018, I started on my greenhouse. I had it in the far part of my yard because I thought it would get a good amount of sun over there. It kind of worked and it kind of didn't. But I didn't have lighting out there. I didn't have automatic watering. I mean, you know, And the reason why I have the greenhouse set up the way I have it set now is because I realized that I am not that type of gardener. I do not get up at the crack of dawn. I am not going out there to water those plants. And if I have anything else on my mind, especially a project, yeah, that greenhouse is getting neglected. So in 2018, I built it and we started growing stuff. And we got stuff like cucumbers. We got some tomatoes out of there. We got some kale and some Swiss chard and a few other things like peppers and stuff like that. So yeah, we did okay. Not great, but okay. So we moved the greenhouse from that area up into the top of my yard, right behind this area that we're sitting in now. It's higher up on the hill. I think it's a better location. But it was on a hill, so it was on a very steep slope. So I had to literally build everything level, which when you walk into the greenhouse from your perspective, it looks like everything is moving upward. Like if you're standing in the back, it looks like everything is going this way when it's actually level. It's like I forget what they call that when it plays tricks on your eyes. You see something, in a way that you wouldn't see if you were standing at a different level. So, anyways, I started in 2018. That was all right. Really didn't do much. Wasn't until around the pandemic, I moved the greenhouse from where it is to where it is now, where it was to where it is now, and started doing a automatic watering system. And that was around the start of the pandemic. Then a little while after that, around close to the end of the pandemic, I found out that I had some vertebrae that was really, really messed up. And it was pinching on my nerves inside my spinal cord. And that's hence the reason why I'm wearing these now. This is lidocaine patches, which helps to kind of take away the sense that the nerve gives that makes me feel like I'm in pain. So I ended up having to have surgery. I had 3 vertebrae removed and replaced with titanium ones and a steel plate holding them all together. So I knew I was going to go into surgery, and I did not know how long I was going to be out for the count. So because I wasn't sure how long I was going to be down, I went ahead and tried to do a kind of a rush job. Not a rush job, but let's hurry up and get it done. Man, these mosquitoes just itching. Anyways. So came time for the surgery. I was in a lot of pain at the time. So I tried to muscle through it and get her done. And I did good for the most part. And it was working. But being able to go out there, check the pH in the water, check the water system, all that kind of stuff became a big hassle because for a few months, more like 5 or 6 months, yeah, dude, my head was heavy like a bowling ball sitting on a neck with newly replaced vertebrae. So I spent a lot of time just trying to keep my head level, So closer to the year mark or so, I got a little bit better, which is kind of where we're at right now. My neck has been better for a while. Not 100%, but in comparison to where I was, I couldn't work. If I tried to do like a woodworking project or anything like that, I had about a good 45 minutes of actual work time before I had to take a break, before my limbs and everything was absolutely horrible and I couldn't work and I couldn't feel my fingers and, that type of stuff. So it's been wonderful being able to get back to work, not at a full capacity, but at least to a point to where I can start doing things like this. So now I'm about to get back at it. So we're going to get back in the yard. It's starting to get a little dark right now. I waited until the evening before I really started doing anything. But, you know, I can get a little bit of work done, and I can show you guys the progress and the work that I've done up to this point. Because like I said in previous videos, I wanted to get this done, this area here, because I wanted to spend more time out here, spend more time in my backyard, do more things with my kids, be able to sit down and watch a movie, you know, those types of things. Soak in the hot tub, cook outdoors. So yeah, now that that is not done, but at a point to where it's usable, I want to go ahead and get back out in that garden. So the object now was to get back out in the garden, clean up the yard, spray for bugs. They're killing me out here. And at least start getting the vegetable garden and the things that we're going to be using to sustain ourselves together. So I want to get on that part, especially before it starts getting cold. The greenhouse I'm going to depend on for vegetables that I can grow in the summer, during the winter, and the outdoor boxes for stuff that is cold tolerant, like lettuce and things of that nature. So let me quit yapping on. Let me go ahead and get set up. Start setting up cameras and time lapses and all that kind of mess, and spray more bug spray. Geez. So this way I can actually have some garden and some vegetables and something to eat, you know? So let's get started. All right, people. So here's what we're doing. As of late, I'm trying to get back in shape, and I'm trying to get back out here making some more of these videos for everybody. So what me and the baby have been doing, my littlest, my youngest, we've been working on our bikes. So I have a classic Schwinn that was gifted to me by my wife's uncle, who passed away a few years ago, even though he gave me this well before he passed. And I'm going to keep this bike alive. So I have cleaned it, restored it, got all the rust off and everything else. Just got to put some air in the tires, and I'm back a riding. My daughter, she wants to go riding with daddy. So we have got a bike for her that we are repairing and restoring. We just got to do the brakes and put new inner tubes in the tires, and she will be riding too. So that's what we've been up to. So I'm not gonna show any footage of that. We're just trying to get in shape. You know what I mean? You know, it's a classic. You know it. You see it. I'll be riding it. I gotta get this dad bod to go away. So, like I said, right now what we're about to do is we're about to get set up in the garden. I'll tell you what, why don't you come along with me, and we are going to check out what we're going to be working on. It's getting a little late and it's getting a little dark, so I don't know. I got lights out there and everything, so we're going to work until, let's keep it real, until I start hurting. So yeah, let's get busy. All right, people. So I'm down here in this raised garden here. And here is where I plan on growing the potatoes and carrots and onions and things of that nature, okay? Now, as you can see, I made a pretty deep pocket for me here, right? Now, what I'm doing is I'm gonna let gravity help me in this process. So, I'm using some old tarp that I have that I'm going to line the whole bottom with. This is where I'm gonna keep my soil. Now, the object behind this is when it rains, and if you see this big bucket here, I don't know if you can see the bucket, but I'll show you. I have a big barrel here that's going to hold my water and my nutrient solutions. And the same thing like what I'm doing in my greenhouse, I'm going to do here, which means I'm going to put a pump inside, And the pump is going to pump on a timer, and it's going to pump water from here all the way down to water everything. This way I don't have to do so much. And also, because it's going to be gravity fed, the biggest thing that's going to need the most water and stuff like that, I'm going to be thinking are going to be like potatoes and carrots and things like that, right? So I could plant smaller things up here, and I could plant larger things, like I could plant onions up here, and I can plant radishes here, you know, carrots here, multiple potatoes, something else, rutabagas, garlic, so on and so forth, right? Now the object is this: because we're on a slope, what I'm hoping for is that any water or nutrients that the plants up here don't need, that water is going to travel down. And it's going to travel to the area that needs the most water, which is going to be my tubers. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the tarp up. And then I got to find some kind of way to make this not look tarpy. So we're going to take whatever spare wood I have. I have a big pile of spare wood. And we're going to try to make something nice. I'm not trying to do, you know, the most beautiful raised bed garden you've ever seen. Maybe later in the future we can work on that. But for now, I need to get something up that I can fill with dirt and start planting. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start planting. We're going to start getting this stuff ready. All right, cool.
hit. I'm hit. Oh no. I kind of stapled my finger. Just a little. Just a touch. No, it ain't that bad. Seriously. But I did get a piece of brad nail directly in my thumb. It's gonna hurt in the morning. Okay, well, it's hot. As you can see, I'm bleeding. That ain't cool. And it's bleeding good too. So, I guess if there was any time to call it for today, I think right now would be the right time to do so. So, here's what we're gonna do. Tomorrow, after I stop bleeding, we'll come back out here, finish up with the tarp, and then start putting up some wood around that to block it in, to keep the dirt and everything in, and to insulate it a bit. But for now, I have a lot of blood running down my finger. It don't really hurt, but it's not the point. I got blood dripping everywhere. So, plus I gotta do some editing anyway. I gotta catch you guys up on all the stuff I've already did with the greenhouse. So, yeah, we'll get out here tomorrow. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next episode.